What was your reaction when you first heard the news that the show was not getting renewed?
I was disappointed, of course.
How was your experience getting the amazing opportunity to work with Willa Fitzgerald?
She came out of Yale. Totally unsurprising that she's working the way she is now.
And the Scream 7 trailer is rumored to drop later this month. How excited are you for Scream 7?
It'd be great. I know how many people love Scream.
The most misunderstood part of being an actor that fans probably never think about.
Alone time.
The Scream TV series was able to return. How excited would you be to see that?
It'd be awesome.
Welcome to Real Appreciation, the show where we explore the artists behind the arts and the gratitude that powers them. I am David Clair-Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And today, we are honored to sit down with one of our favorite actors, but best known for his role as Jake Fitzgerald in the Scream TV series, rest in peace. But you can also see him in shows like 13 Reasons Why and Animal Kingdom. So please, without further ado, welcome to the show, the one, the only Tom Maden.
Hey.
Tom, you've been in so many films and TV shows, but we're not going to lie, we're still kind of hot all these years later after the cancellation of the beloved Scream TV series. What was your reaction when you first heard the news that the show was not getting renewed for another season?
I don't know. I mean, MTV, they don't even do scripted television anymore. I think we were kind of on that cusp of cable television from channels that necessarily weren't doing scripted shows, getting into scripted shows, then getting out of scripted shows. So it kind of was part of the times. So I don't want to say I wasn't surprised, as in I was expecting it, but that kind of turnover was also not entirely unexpected. I mean, I was disappointed, of course. Um, and yeah, I was disappointed because there was an opportunity there for all kinds of fun stories to happen. Well, and especially when it got canceled, I mean, after season two, they entirely revamped the show to have an entirely new cast and storyline, but then it didn't even go out on MTV. They sold it, I think they shelved it for about a year, and then they sold it to VH1. So it was kind of all, you know, in the mix of uncertainty.
How was your experience getting the amazing opportunity to work with such a star-studded cast like Willa Fitzgerald?
I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was definitely her first lead in a show. She came out of Yale drama, where someone like Tom Hanks went to school. So she was extremely professional, totally unsurprising that she's working the way she is now. She really showed up, stepped up, did her thing. So it's been really cool to watch her career flourish.
And hypothetically speaking, if some way, somehow, the Scream TV series was able to return, how excited would you be to see that?
It would be awesome. I really, I've really been stunned because I'm not gonna lie, I had to watch Scream once I got the job. Horror was not really my thing. I really liked. I don't even want to say because I'll just sound pretentious, but once I watched it and once I realized like the fandom that was involved, like the what would you call it? The loyalty to the Scream franchise, I was really impressed by. So I would be really glad if it showed up because I know how many people love Scream.
But with all the Scream talk going on, the Scream 7 trailer is rumored to drop later this month. With that being said, how excited are you for Scream 7?
It'd be great. I mean, I think people really love the series, and so I think it would be awesome for it to be a great movie.
Absolutely. But outside of Scream, you've done so many other amazing projects, dramatic ones included, and something Maria and I know as actors ourselves is just how challenging certain roles can be. So I wanted to ask you, Tom, what would you say was one of the most challenging genres or roles you've ever gotten the chance to tackle? And if there is a scene that still haunts you even today?
I would say definitely, I did an episode of The Mentalist where I had to do Hamlet. So I was a kid in high school and playing Hamlet, and then I was having a love affair with the teacher. And then we got found out in the forest, and she killed the gym teacher who found us. And then I get grilled in the interrogation room. So just going through that process, from doing Hamlet to confessing my association with murder was certainly one of the more heightened. roles for sure.
What's the most misunderstood part of being an actor that fans probably never think about?
Alone time, the isolation that you kind of have to go through in order to develop your work. Um, and so there's just a lot of moments where doubt can creep in, um, because you have no mirror to bring back to you. So you really have to strengthen your internal resolve. Or not, you don't have to. But if you don't, then it becomes a very, very intense and sometimes chaotic process. So I would say an actor really has to be comfortable being with themselves. And I think a lot of us actors have a lot of insecurities. And so being alone with ourselves and our insecurities becomes a very difficult conversation and a difficult process to go through. Um, so I would say there's a lot more, and then also the many, 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 many hours that go into auditioning and creating work and crafting a role that you never get credit for. I mean, I definitely think my best performances I've ever given as an actor will never be seen again because they were in an audition room with some really good material that I ended up not getting. So, there's this immediacy that's amazing as an actor that, when you're in the moment and you're having this brilliant connection and the flow state is alive and you feel like you can say or do anything and it all makes sense within the story. That's all amazing. But then also there's those moments of nothing is working. I feel like anything I say sounds silly and not believable. And why am I an actor? And why am I doing this? So I'd say there's just a lot of all the shiny, fun bits of like the working actor and well, the actor working. There is the many, many hours and days and months and years of questions and emotional doubt.
I want to take us back to what you were talking about with the aloneness and the loneliness and the darkness. It's something I still go through as an actor myself and have gone through with other roles in my own past, and I'm sure with Maria's as well as an actress. But talk to me how you find the light in all of that darkness.
That really wonderfully comes through with um, the material, with the story. It's why we're actors to begin with, is to tell the story and something really well written. Um, the writer or writers really put their spirit in there. I mean, it's not like writers are, just happy-go-lucky people that have no cares in the world. I really think there needs to be a fusion and a wedding again between writers and actors because writers are the first ones to go into those depths and into the abyss and into the existential crises. And they're the ones who pull something out and say, here's what I found that makes me wake up again tomorrow, kind of thing. And the actors, for us, we get to champion that first and foremost, And so I would say, and we get to find it in the material. The writers write what they know, but the actors, we find what they're trying to say, but then also we find our own thoughts and understandings and ethos in the material that maybe the writer didn't even necessarily intend. Because they're setting something up and we're the ones finishing it. So we really get to when we put our bodies on the line, we're saying, this is what I believe in. Even if you're a psychopath, serial killer, lawyer person in a show, you are saying for that brief moment between action and cut, this is my truth. And I think ultimately the experience of holding on to something that you believe to be true. Again, if it's fictional, because you're not a serial killer psychopath. But that moment of saying, this is me, I think is what carries us through. There is that strength in self-identity that for whatever reason humans just, we need it. We thrive when we have it.
A lot of people know you for your characters, but what is one thing about you, the human being, that people may be surprised to know?
I have an obsession with 17th century European history and art. That's one. There's a million. I love facts. I love factoids. The only thing I donate to is Wikipedia. I read a lot of different subjects, and I try to contextualize everything in order to understand what we look at every day.
Do you have any exciting projects coming up or in the works at all?
Yeah, so I've mostly I still audition, but I've really been transitioning into writing. That's been like my main focus. Um so yeah, I've been working on a few things, different scripts, and then potentially a book that I would like to eventually turn into a TV show. So I'm like, well, I could either write the pilot or I could write a book, and then I'm trying to play that old school game.
Well, that's amazing. We're both writers ourselves. How much do you love writing?
I realized I will never be probably that good of an actor because I think I have this very stubborn voice in me that if I want to say something, I really want to say it. And if I don't get to say it, circumstantially within the material, there's a part of me that starts to fake it because I don't believe it. I don't have it in me. Um, and so the writing has been really important for me because it's allowed me to express things the way that I want to express them.
Beautifully said. And as you know, as we wind down here, real appreciation is all about gratitude and finding peace in a world full of so much chaos. So, with that being said, Maria and I, we always make it a priority to say three things we're grateful for when we wake up and before we go to bed. So, with that being said, what are the three things you are grateful for in your life right now?
Three things I'm grateful for in my life right now. The ability to understand things, the ability to contextualize and learn. I mean, learning. I don't want to take this too far on this podcast, but education has really taken a hit for quite a few decades, and I think we're seeing the repercussions of that. And so the ability to learn, I'm extremely grateful for. It's the thing that has taken me out of the darkness in general. Um, because there are so many people that have gone through the things we've gone through. There's so many things that people have come up with and created. And if we don't learn them, then that it's kind of like delegation, because if you have someone, let's say a philosopher who spends their entire life sitting at a desk and thinking about life and thinking about what are we doing, why are we here, et cetera, if we don't learn from them, then that means we won't ever get to certain places like that because we're not going to be sitting at a desk for 40 years of our life thinking about these questions. So to be able to gain knowledge without having to really earn it through the blood, sweat, and tears of that specific action and process, and being able to gain the insights from people who do is incredibly important, I think, for our species. They say that mirror neurons are the reason why we were able to evolve as a species because of fire. We watched someone else start to rub the sticks together and create fire. And it was the mirror neurons that go, I can do that too. And thus it spread versus individuals having to go through like, oh, well, if I take sticks and I rub them together and I saw the lightning hit the stick, and then if I make the stick and I touched it once and it was warm, those are all experiments. Those are all assessments, and that all takes a lot of time. And we would never, as a whole, gotten fire from that. So that's my one. My second would be I'm grateful that I feel able to connect with people. Kind of speaking about that isolation before, there was definitely many times when I felt like there were people I cared about, there were people that I enjoyed being around, but I just didn't feel simpatico in general with human beings. Going to the grocery store and talking to the checkout line lady. I really recommend that. I really recommend never not trying to converse with people working at a cash register, because engaging with them, they are in their automatic mode. They have to be there, they have to talk to you. But if you can just be nice to them for a blip, just a little thank you, or just a little genuine, how are you doing? Um, that's something I've learned over time, has really, it's kept me fresh. It's kept me pushing to engage with people no matter the circumstances. So the ability to connect, that's what I'm really grateful for. And then the third thing I would say, what's the third thing? That we're able to wake up and have fresh water, and that we can turn on a shower and it's there and it's available for us and it's clean. There's just a lot of hardship and a lot of really, really heartbreaking things that are going on. So the fact that we're able to not have to go through that, I mean, can't help but be grateful.
So before we head out of here, where can people find you online, Tom?
Best place is probably my Instagram for now. It's at mad, MAD underscore EN as in Nancy, love. I put that underscore there because so many people called me Maiden. So I put the mad underscore EN because I was like, you're gonna say Madden. You're gonna read it and you're gonna have to say mad in love. So that's the best place to find me.
Thank you so much for being part of this with us today.
Thank y'all.
Until the next episode, like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to our show. But most importantly, protect your mental health. I'm David Clair-Bennett.
And I'm Maria Elizabeth Darnell.
And he is Tom Maden, not Maiden. Get it right, guys. And we are out.